From Las Vegas, it's Dry Heat with Mike Davis.
Hello and welcome inside the den for a new edition of Dry Heat with Mike Davis. Listen, 3 spots. If I take you on a date, if I take you to one of these 3 spots, that means I really like you. I had a girl visit me from LA just last weekend. Where did I take her? I took her to Tivoli Village to go to Solito Posto. But 3 spots: Esther's Kitchen, Solito Posto, and Ada's. And now there's a 4th. And the guy responsible for all of this, one of my favorite culinary masterminds, the guy who's the face of Las Vegas when it comes to food, Mr. James Trees, is here with us inside the den for Dry Heat. This has been a long time coming. We've done stuff on TV before, but I needed to get the full conversation with you. How are you doing? How is this 4th spot that I was alluding to just opened? It's called Bar Bohème. Am I saying this right? I'm from New Jersey. I don't have a lot of class. Bar Bohème.
I'm from the east side of Vegas, so I don't have a lot of class either. Bar Bohème is our French restaurant, and our little cocktail bar is actually called Le Petit Bohème. And that's just a little offshoot to the side. It's a separate building, and we do like beautiful French cocktails in there, little bites of food, and then we have the French restaurant that just opened about 4 weeks ago.
Okay, so now I'm so excited. We're going to get into your whole story, but if there's one thing that I can compel our audience to try, and the reason why I love this man so much is, listen, I love bread. I love gluten. I have an Ashkenazi Jewish stomach, and I still love bread. That's how much I love it, because I probably should not be even consuming gluten, but your gluten is the best effing gluten on the face of the earth. Okay, let's just break this down, because I've read articles. I know there's a new type of gluten because of the French element here that we're going to be excited about. But let's go back to the 3 initials. Esther's Kitchen, right? Not just the pizza, but this sourdough that you can buy. You guys were giving this out for free during the pandemic.
We were.
You know, that's how good you guys are. But sourdough, baked daily, fresh, with all these accoutrements, with the garlic, anchovy, butter, all these different things you can put on the side. So you got that. At Solito Posto, you got the focaccia.
Yeah.
It's fun to say. It's fun to eat.
It's like that tall.
It's delicious. It may even be better than the sourdough. And then Ada's got so much great stuff as well. But now Bar Bohème is going to have French baguettes that are baked daily. Like, I've never been to Paris, but you're telling me a cheaper excursion for me, I could go to the Bar Bohème and actually taste what a real French baguette tastes like.
Absolutely. It's our levain base, which is the sourdough base that we use at Esther's. And we got a flour from Lyon, France, which is called T65 flour, which is it's traditional flour. And it's traditional, it's organic, and it is the flour you must use legally in France to call it a Parisian baguette. And we're the only ones in the city that use this flour.
You mean you have to get this special thing from Lyon? It's kind of like,
you have to have flour milled in Lyon, shipped to New York, and then trucked from New York to Las Vegas.
Okay, now with tariffs, with all these things going on, what does that cost to act like it? It must be worth it to a degree. I mean, I like how it's that authentic.
Yeah, I think it's really important that, if you're going to dive deep into a culture and you're going to try to transport people with food.
Yes.
I think it's really important that you get the correct products in order to do that. And yeah, tariffs are going to be a pain, but at the end of the day, it's about the taste and the flavor of the food and creating simple joys. Like, bread is a simple joy.
It's such a joy, and I love it so much. I try to abstain from it, but I can't, because Saturday night I'm having this focaccia with the dip and the way it's prepared, and you guys just make it so special. I guess you call it bread service. I never worked in a restaurant or a kitchen, but you make bread service so special.
We take something that used to get thrown on the table and thrown away.
Yeah.
We turn it into something that's worthy of paying for.
That's
one of the things that I think is really important. The reason why we did the sourdough at Esther's to start was because I came out to Vegas from running restaurants in LA, where we had a full bakery and we made all of our own product. And I went to every single bakery and tried their bread, and it was all terrible. So I just didn't really, think that we were going to be able to do it. And then I was like, you know what? The only way that we're going to have the product that we want is if we create it. And I took that kind of like idea and I applied it to the pasta as well, because we make all the pasta for all the restaurants.
Handmade.
Even at Esther's, we don't have a can opener. Like, we don't use canned tinned tomatoes. Like, every single thing that we do is done in-house. We buy the best products from either, regionally or internationally. Like, there's not a piece of cheese that we use in Esther's or Solito that comes from America.
It's amazing. It's remarkable. But let's start at the beginning with your journey, because you were a part of the CIA. And when I say the CIA, I'm not talking about the government agency, the Culinary Institute of America. When I was doing research on you, it seems like this was a big moment in your life of kind of taking you to the next level. But there's a few things before we even get to that I think are fascinating. So you're a born and raised Las Vegas guy, Las Vegas high school. You get this internship working at the Mirage. But when I'm going back and learning all about you, the thing that struck me is you became the youngest sous chef ever.
Yes.
To work at a 5-star, 5-diamond hotel, Bellagio, for Michael Mina at Aqua, I guess. This is before CIA or after?
This is actually after.
Okay.
I started at the Mirage as an intern when I was 16 years old. So I was actually able to do the CIA internship at the Mirage before Bellagio opened in 1996.
So you did a CIA internship, Culinary Institute of America, which is in New York, and that's where you studied, but you actually had an internship with it before you actually went to New York and did the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I actually got the experience that the kids that were coming out of CIA I got when I was 16.
And people like Anthony Bourdain, I mean, Roy Choi, all these guys. I mean, there's a lot of remarkable people that are part of this pedigree and have that background. So it's a special thing. Todd English, Michael Mina as well. So you had that kind of opportunity. What a pleasure at such a young age to take to that and have that experience. And so what did you decided after getting a little taste? I got to go to the culinary CIA and try to really make this happen?
There were really two different schools of thought. This was before culinary school was cool, because there was a time where going to culinary school was all the rage and everyone was going to Cordon Bleu and everything else. When I went to CIA, it was very, very regimented. It was very, very tough. It was very few people were able to graduate with their class, because you had 7-day and 14-day classes. And if you miss one day in a 7-day class, you fail automatically.
Is that, like, just to paint a picture, it's like, you're going to probably laugh, but like my only point of reference is like The Bear. Is, the Bear Show, FX, is when he goes to that train, is it like, it's like intense like that, where it's almost like you're getting whipped, if you're not performing?
We had teachers that would literally make you do this to check your fingernails.
Really?
Yeah, they would make sure that if your fingernails weren't perfect, if your neckerchief wasn't perfect, if your uniform wasn't perfect, if your hat wasn't perfect, if your shoes weren't polished, you got kicked out of class. Like, they were very seriously militant.
I love that.
Teachers, and it's a beautiful thing. I don't not miss it. When they made me a sous chef, the first place that they really put me that they knew that I would struggle was they made me run the Bellagio buffet. At the age of 21, I was running a $50 million apparatus at Bellagio, and because they didn't have a chef for the place, so I was the only guy. So I was up there and I was working because they knew I'd work 14, 15 hours a day. And I had 72 union employees who I was in charge of, and they ate my lunch. I did not know how to talk to people. I did not know how to manage or lead. It was a huge wake-up call. And if it wasn't for Chef Edmund Wong, who was running Bellagio at that time, there's no way I would have been successful. And to be 100% honest, like, I think there's a difference between like the success that people see and the 25 years of failure before that, right? Like the cool thing about my business is you only have to get it right once, right? If you get it right once, people will start trusting you. But until you get it right, you really don't have a voice. And you have to do it for yourself. And that's what Esther's was for me. But like, you have to realize I got fired by Michael Mina 3 times. I got fired from Aqua, right? I got fired from San Francisco when I was at his flagship restaurant, and I got fired from 14 in LA. So I got fired as a cook, I got fired as a chef de cuisine, and I got fired as a sous chef. So like,
and you fired why?
Well, because honestly, because, you know, I was the Draymond Green. That's the reference point.
I love Draymond Green.
Yeah,
I'm a Draymond Green guy.
Yeah.
Like, as a sports guy,
Yeah.
I think that's so pertinent to
Yeah.
championship DNA
Right.
cores.
Loyal.
So what does that mean? Okay,
It
so
means you're loyal, you're hardworking, you're willing to jump in and get in, do the dirty work.
and you're a nut job.
You're going to, yeah. And I was a nut job because, I've never had a problem working 15, 16 hours a day. It
Right.
doesn't bother me.
More Dry Heat after the break. You're watching Dry Heat with Mike Davis.
Your great aunt Esther, not only did she write the check for the CIA, but she gave you this nest egg in this Esther's kitchen. So from what I understand and gather, with the Lev Group, you got El Solito Posto, you got Ada's and all that stuff. You have a business partner even with Bar Bohème, but Esther's kitchen is something that's always just been yours,
It's just
right?
yeah.
It's just yours. And then
95% mine and 5% my sister's, and she would like to think that those roles are reversed. However,
and that's Amanda, right?
That's Amanda.
Okay,
She's
we got
the
to
boss.
shout out to Amanda. But so let me ask you this. I feel close enough to ask you this. So, Esther's Kitchen, the original, okay? Of course, there was something so special about that space, right? Just how, there was an intimacy in there. And then it got so popular that you had to expand. Was there ever even a part of you that was like, we have to expand to fit the numbers, but there's a magic about the original that you were unsure if you wanted to do that?
I was so scared of messing up the new Esters. And the reason why that is because you're 100% right. There was something magical about that original space. And even though we only moved 20 feet away, literally moved 20 feet away, but we pulled the wood off the walls to put into the new Esters.
Yeah.
The new pass, is all the same wood.
Yeah.
All of the elements in there were designed by me and Amanda, and I gave Amanda a carte blanche to go through, and she created the wainscoting, the vinyl wraps, all the different things, around the bar, how it has an edge where they, you can put drinks and you can hang out and actually just sit on the window. That's something that she created.
The details.
The details inside of the design are 100% Amanda. And she struggled with it too, because she was afraid to mess it up.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is having seen how she did it, the original, and all the different things that she brought to the space that made it what it is, she's a huge part of that success, because it's not about food. It's about the way you make people feel.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. We have good food. I've spent 2/3 of my life working on how to make good food. That's great. The part that's hard is creating the magic around the service and the vibe and the hospitality.
Can you teach somebody that? Or is that you can't go to CIA and learn that, right? That's not a course.
You can learn service. Service is a course. Service, when it comes to, you do this first, second, third, fourth.
But there's a different, but service, listen, I'm a consumer. Yes, there is great service, but there's a different kind of service at Esther's, even at Al Solito Posto. I mean, it's just, there's a different Ada's. It's, the service is, the only way I can express it is, and I think, hopefully, I'm not a lot of things, but I pride myself on this. I think when people, especially, when they see me on TV and when they see me doing my thing, they can see the selfish enjoyment that I get from doing my job. And I think there's a lot of people that are better journalists. There's a lot of people that can do a lot of things better than me. But I do think I am very good at being able to selfishly enjoy and have other people want to be a part of that, and bring people in. And I feel like even Saturday night when I'm at Al Solito Posto, the guys that come around and do basic water service and refill, all those people, there's such a smile, such an enthusiasm, such a pride about things, so that's service. But then you could go to a stuffy place where the guy knows service,
right,
but they don't make you feel anything.
And that's the thing, is the funny thing is, the more high-end the restaurant, the more relaxed the service actually is, because that's the difference between what we're talking about is two different things. We're talking about the difference between service
Right.
and hospitality.
So like Ratatouille, like
Yeah.
Pixar movie.
Right.
When it's kind of stuffy and bad and it's like, so what is that?
So that's a restaurant that is a caricature. Excuse me. That's a caricature of what old school fine dining used to be.
Okay.
New school fine dining is uber approachable. Like maybe not the ingredients, but the more laid back a restaurant is,
Yeah.
the more comfort you're going to feel when you're there. But if you're there and there are 8 people staring at you while you taste this little pea that they give you on a thing, that's not really service. And then they take it away and they give you a fork and then they give you the thing. You take out the fork and you eat the thing and they take it away and they give you again. Like that is
Snobby.
it's snobby, elitist, and on top of it, like food has become one of those things where it's actually like people will spend huge amounts of money like they would on like a purse. Like it's the Louis Vuitton purse of our time is going to beautiful restaurants and being able to have this kind of lifestyle.
Right.
And what I always say is restaurants are a reprieve from society and reality, right? The same way we go and watch sports to watch heroes create magic in front of our eyes. Like we go to restaurants for that same feeling.
When you're at the CIA and you're doing, you know, this training and you're learning all these lessons and you're surrounded by all these pioneers and all this stuff, do you almost feel yourself getting drawn to that? Or were you always able to know, no, this is the reason why I'm getting into this business. This is when I one day have a place of my own, this is what I want it to feel like.
I think it's really important that you have to be able to do both. You have to be able to understand the workings and the ins and outs and the technical precision and all that stuff that goes into those really
And then break the rules.
high end. Yeah. And then you have to create your version of that.
Dry Heat with Mike Davis will be right back.
If you haven't traveled and you haven't gone to Paris, you haven't gone to Lyon, and you haven't gone to Barcelona, and you haven't gone to Madrid, and you haven't gone to Torino, and you haven't gone to Verona, and you haven't gone to Venice, and you haven't gone to Rome, and you haven't gone to Switzerland, you haven't gone to all these other places that have hundreds and hundreds of years, you might actually be ignorant enough to think that Vegas even scratches the surface of what the world can do. The closest thing we have to something that's world class in Las Vegas is Chinatown, because it's representative of all the small parts of China and like Hunanese, Shanghai, Chengdu, all these different places, Taiwan, like all these different places are amazing culinary meccas. If you've never been to the night markets in Bangkok, if you haven't gone to Singapore, you might actually think that Vegas is anywhere on the map.
Okay, I'm ignorant.
The reason why Vegas isn't on the map is because we import all of our talent. We don't home grow it.
Well, you're homegrown.
Yeah, but I'm the exception to the rule. But also, like, you don't see, my name on marquees on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Well, maybe one day. Would you like that?
No.
Maybe one day.
No, I mean, like, I'm doing a deal right now with a hotel, but it's on my own terms, and I had to take less than I thought I should get, and I had to do it. And I had to make that.
Can you tell us what this is?
Technically, no. So
what can you tell us? Tell us a little something.
It'll be a steakhouse.
Okay.
That's all you have to know. Right?
Okay.
I'm doing a steakhouse, and here's the thing: is I'm doing a steakhouse simply because I think all the other steakhouses in the city are manned by some of the best chefs in Las Vegas, who are the least supported chefs in Las Vegas. Like, we want to do things the way the chefs wish they could do them.
For a steakhouse.
Right. Because if you got John George on the front of your restaurant, guess what you have to do? You have to do John George food. Right? The cool thing about my group is we're chameleons. We get to do whatever we want. We want to cook French, we cook French. We want to cook Italian, we cook Italian.
Not making that deal with the devil that is great in some ways, but then kind of handicaps you in other ways that don't technically become seen to the everyman like
Think
me.
about it like this. The people who are running Las Vegas hotels, and this is the reason why they're out of ideas, is because they came without an idea. They worked in a system that funneled them up for success was to screw over the person before them and make 1/10 better of a food cost percentage. And that's how they went from being a food and beverage manager to being a food and beverage director. Now that food and beverage director, who's never really worked in great restaurants, doesn't know the business, is now in charge of telling $10 million, $20 million, $30 million restaurants how to run their business. And the only thing they know is how to cut. They don't know how to build.
More Dry Heat after the break.
You said that, we're not in the top 100. We're maybe 25 when it comes to domestically, but you're homegrown. You're born and raised. You went to Las Vegas High School. You know this. I think one day we're going to be looking back and thinking, we can point to you as a guy who was born here and who's creating a new culture and a new standard. So I appreciate everything you're doing.
But I have to say that, the same year that I opened up Esther's, Brian Howard opened up Sparrow and Wolf.
You're in a great place.
More influential probably for the bridge between French and Chinese. So that place. And then you also have Anima by Oscar Amador and Roberto Liendo, EDO, that place. We opened, all of us, within a year of each other, within that year.
Yeah.
I think that will be the point that we look back and be like, this was the bellwether where chefs took back control from the Strip.
What year is this?
I guess that's 2018.
Okay.
So between 2017 and 2018, that was the year that we started. Now we're at 25. We're not even at 10 years yet. And I see more and more great restaurants opening off the Strip. You start to see other people from the Strip moving away from the Strip, like Sean McLean opened up Wino, stuff like that. These are all bellwethers for what it means for Las Vegas to have its own food scene.
Thank you so much for watching Dry Heat with Mike Davis. Go to our YouTube page, Silver State Sports, to hear our complete interviews.